why do we really want volunteers to, what is the purpose of your role as volunteer coordinators for those who are volunteer managers? And we had a very tough afternoon session for those of you who were here. Because, we shouldn't sugarcoat what needs to be done, right? Some of it is easy, and it's fun, it's enjoyable, but some of it is not so straightforward. And we have learned many things. I just highlight a few. We've learned that what is missing is really good volunteer engagement, that the first purpose of engaging volunteers is to fulfill our mission, not to save money, that volunteer management needs to be an essential function of any NPO, not just an afterthought, that volunteers need to be cultivated just as we often cultivate donors. It's a relationship that needs to be developed over time. Volunteers can be community mobilizers, empowering others around them to take a bold step forward and act on something they truly care about, and many, many more. So I can see that there are many of us who are embarking on this journey collectively, not just individually. I mean, to re-emphasize a point that Susan made, that we shouldn't just do this alone, because the work there needs to be done. So we are not alone in this, and we shouldn't be, because we can't make much of a difference if we do it ourselves. So please collaborate aggressively, not just actively, aggressively. I feel a great sense of hope and optimism. The theme of this evening is Imagine a World with Volunteers. But let us suspend reality for a minute and maybe give it a little more focus. Imagine a Singapore with everyone as volunteers. Okay? What will it be like? Okay, let's go through this little exercise. I think Singaporeans would be the happiest people in the world. Okay? So everywhere you go, everyone is helpful. So how that, there's nothing to be unhappy about. If you are pregnant and board a train, people will automatically stand up and give you your seat instead of pretending to fall asleep. Okay? If you fall very sick and go to a hospital, you will recover more quickly because there are volunteers to cheer you up, to remind you to take your medicine, and to help you with the therapy exercises. You will never feel lonely because there will always be people dropping in on you. But most of all, I think people will just be happy because there are many opportunities to volunteer, and numerous happiness studies have shown that giving people are happy people. So we know what is at stake. Volunteerism is not just something nice to have after we have settled everything else. It is nice to be at the core. It needs to be at the core of who we are and what we do. So please help us place volunteerism much higher on the agenda in this country to a place that it truly deserves. So now, it just leaves me the pleasure to thank everyone who have made this volunteerism conference possible. First, of course, Susan. Give her a round of applause. Thank you for flying 27 hours from Philadelphia and flying another 27 hours back across 12 time zones. And delivering inspiring and really useful content to us. And she has been amazing, don't you think so? I mean, where does she get all her energy from? It never wane. Okay, the panelists for the corporate volunteering, we thank them, panel, and it takes two to tango. Professor Eugene Tan from SMU, Trevor Hager from Stanchart, Jacqueline Ng from Victoria JC, Roy Tan from NParks, and the other student panel. Useful team members from the two wonderful groups that Susan also mentioned, Project Hello Stranger and While You Were Sleeping. The event volunteers or philanthropists, without whom an event of this scale would not have been possible. And you all are here, for the publicity, the photographers and journalists who have tracked the event, interviewed participants, written articles, created a buzz on social media, and helped spread the word of volunteerism, and the event support, and for event support, the volunteers. And we also include those who were sent by Stanchart. They have helped enormously, with administrative and logistic support. I heard some of you actually took annual leave to come, which is amazing. The the trainers group. I think some of you are here. Please stand up as well again to train the trainers group. Those of you. There's a dedicated group of volunteer coordinators whom Susan introduced. We'll thank in advance. We'll thank in advance for the volunteer work that you will do. And I think they've had the opportunity to deepen exposure to a very large spectrum of the non-profit sector. And I think tomorrow we have our graduation ceremony. The YMCA staff who have extended the help in terms of the administrative venue and facility support. And my NVPC team. They have planned this event from the start of conceptualization and worked through 3 amazing days to bring us this really impactful event. And last but not least, each of you here, everybody else in the room who has not been called, okay, thank you for actively participating and still being with us at 8 p.m. on the 3rd day. So let us journey together to make volunteerism a way of life, not just a vision, but a reality for us all. And have a great evening. Thanks very much.